Hello, everybody. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm the author of Conversations with Dawnkey, A Bipolar Journey. I'm also the author of the unpublished Kaffy the Love Dawnkey. I would like to read to you today from the unpublished book. This chapter is called Bits and Pieces. I was reminded earlier of dear Mrs. D in elementary school. Her music room was magic. I remember many nooks and crannies in that room, and all manner of fascinating stuff. The room may have been a stage, come to think of it. There was dancing in music class. Torped McGee had to be my partner. Maybe I liked this, maybe I didn't. Speaking of TM, one Christmas I decided to buy him a little toy car. I did this with love, covered up with sarcasm. I acted as though giving him the toy would embarrass him, but deep down I just wanted to be loved. 1976. They set up a little room in the school with things for sale in it. I remember them with excitement and buying a Liberty Bell and a little white head on a pretty glazed blue base for my mother for Christmas. This was exciting, giving gifts even at an early age. Things can be so new and magical when you're a child. I remember painting the walls at Riley Hospital in Indianapolis. It was in the child guidance area. Mom worked as a test giver and secretary. She was wonderful. Let me digress. Mom is so amazing. Everybody loved her. There was one lady there who was jealous of her. When it was review time with several people there, the lady tore Mom a new butt. Mom listened to this well and fairly. They wanted to know her rebuttal. She basically said she had none, that she respected Jay, and if that was what she perceived, then that's how it was for her. Oh my God, that woman did a complete 180. She started treating Mom like gold. See how Mom does? Back to the painting. Mom and I, when I was around 11, painted a fairy scene on the walls for the children that came. I was so proud. I felt so big and important. I wish we had taken and kept pictures of it. She also helped me paint my bathroom when I was probably around the same age. It was a beach scene, and I decorated the bathroom, and it was glorious. Sneaking magazines. Mom had Cosmos stacked in her craft room closet, and Dad had Playboys stacked in his room. I swear he read them just for the fiction. But I didn't. I read them for knowledge. Knowledge of the forbidden, the hidden, the occult, if you will. Oh, I loved the occult. By the way, yes, I know Playboy's not about the occult. Darn burn it. Now I'm having trouble again with the book. There we go. If I could have known to call it spirituality back then, I would have fared better with Dad's mom about it. According to her belief, which was Southern Fundamentalist Baptist, that was a sin. Sin, sin, sin. What a bunch of crap for a proper little girl like me. What a load to put on me. And when I was going through puberty and felt guilt and shame at having normal feelings. Back to occult. I learned what astrology was when I was in around 3rd grade. It fascinated me. It was like occult psychology. I clung to it for decades, using it to try to understand people. I always wanted to understand people, you know? You know who has uncomfortable seats for a big woman like me? Cracker Barrel. CB, get on the stick. Big folks like to be comfy too when eating. That just came to mind. And now comes Jeff Goldblum. Watched a good show with him and Cyndi Lauper and an all-star cast, it seemed like. It was called Vibes, and it was really entertaining. I recommend. I also recommend Her with Joaquin Phoenix. Amazing show. Once in San Francisco, while on Geary, I happened upon a seemingly homeless man in a messed up electric wheelchair, and what he asked me to do. He wanted to know if I would be so kind as to push him up the hill in the wheelchair. Well, you know I did. I almost busted a gut, too. Just about killed me. But it needed done, and when a job needs done, you do it, not look for someone else to do it. When I got him to his point of departure from me, he fished out a cheap bottle of brandy. I adore brandy, and I am no snob. God forgive me, I accepted that gift. Now, was that wrong? And that's the end of that chapter. What do you think about that? Do you think it was wrong for me to accept the gift from him? I believe I asked him if he had more, and he did have another bottle for himself. And that made me feel better about it. But part of the reason that I decided to accept it was because of his pride and his dignity. And I felt that if he offered something like that, then he means it. And his dignity and pride deserves for me to accept what he's offering. I could easily have afforded the same thing at the store. In fact, we were across the street from the liquor store where I would buy my liquor. Across the street. All I had to do was walk over there and get some. So it wasn't money. It wasn't that I didn't have the money. It was his appreciation that made it a nice gift. I went and I drank that, and I drank it to him. And I hope he had a jolly good drinking session with his bottle. And that's it for now. I'm Kathleen Byram. I'm the author of Conversations with Dawnkey, A Bipolar Journey, and Kaffy the Love Dawnkey, which is unpublished so far. You can get my book at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart, all online. You can also get it at KathleenByram.com. And there are other places online that you can look and see on Google where they are. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day. And if you would you please consider just taking a second and flicking the like button for me? It does a lot of good for me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.